The night air in Las Vegas was electric. Cameras flashing, chants echoing, lights burning bright like a storm of fame. But for Abner Mares, this wasn't just another fight. It was war, a war he didn't start, but one he had to finish. Across the ring stood Eric Morel, Puerto Rico's pride. Older, experienced, dangerous. But there was something else in his eyes that night, something that whispered unfinished business. Commentators called it a clash of generations. But inside both men's minds, it was something darker. Abner had trained in silence for 11 months, not for victory, but for vengeance. The man who once guided him betrayed him. That man now stood in Eric's corner, coaching him, whispering every weakness Abner once confessed. The betrayal cut deeper than any punch ever could. As the bell prepared to ring, a hush fell over the arena. Abner's coach leaned close and said quietly, "Don't fight his body tonight. Fight his shadow." The bell rang. Round one exploded like thunder. Morel came forward fast, sharper than expected. Every jab carried history. Every hook carried insult. Abner absorbed them, calculating, waiting. He could feel the crowd's confusion. Why wasn't he fighting back? Because he wasn't fighting Eric Morel. He was fighting everything that tried to break him. The bell ended the first round, but the silence in Abner's corner was louder than the crowd's roar. He looked across the ring and saw it, the man who betrayed him, smirking behind Eric's shoulder. That smirk turned the night into fire. Abner whispered to himself, "Tonight, I take back everything." The camera zoomed in on his gloves, black, with a single word written in white tape. "Forgive?" The question would be answered before sunrise. Round two began with fury. Abner moved like lightning, his gloves cutting through the air. Each punch echoed with memories of trust broken, of dreams stolen. Morel countered with skill, but Abner wasn't the same fighter he had studied years ago. He was colder now, focused, unreadable. Blood dripped from Morel's lip, but he grinned, whispering something between punches. "He said you'd fall again." Abner froze for half a second. He? The coach, the man who betrayed him. Morel wasn't just fighting for himself. He was sent to finish Abner's story. The bell ended the round, but in Abner's corner, time stood still. His coach stared at him with wide eyes. "He's not fighting you," Abner said slowly. "He's fighting for him." Outside the ring, the crowd roared, blind to the war beneath the surface. Abner clenched his fists. He could feel his heartbeat sinking with the crowd's chant, "Mares, Mares." But to him, it wasn't a cheer, it was a warning. Round three began. Morel attacked with everything, but Abner dodged, slipped, and countered with precision. One body shot, one uppercut, and the crowd erupted. Still, something in Morel's eyes didn't break. Between rounds, Morel looked across and whispered, "You don't know the truth." Abner frowned. What truth? The cameras cut to the traitor coach's face. Nervous, sweating. Something was coming. Something darker than either fighter expected. Round 5. The arena lights dimmed for a moment. A glitch in the system, or maybe fate. Abner and Morel circled each other, breathing heavy, faces swollen. Every jab felt personal now. The commentators shouted about technique, but this fight had left technique behind. It was now about soul. Between punches, Morel spoke again. "He lied to you both." Abner narrowed his eyes. "What?" A right hook landed. The crowd roared. The coach yelled from Morel's corner, "Finish him." But Abner suddenly realized both of them had been used. After the bell, Abner approached Morel in silence. "Tell me what he did." Morel spat blood and whispered, "He made us enemies to cover his crimes." Abner's heart stopped. The same man who betrayed him had used both fighters, pitting them against each other, to hide stolen money from Abner's old company. money laundered through boxing promotions. It wasn't just betrayal. It was a setup. Abner's eyes turned cold. As round 6 began, he didn't fight Morel. He fought the truth. His punches landed harder, faster, sharper, until Morel couldn't stand. But before the knockout, Morel whispered one final line. "He's leaving tonight with everything." Abner froze. The bell rang. The referee stepped in. The crowd went wild. But Abner's eyes went to the stands. The coach was gone. The fight was over. But the real battle had just begun. Abner ran backstage, gloves still on, blood dripping from his chin. Cameras followed as chaos erupted. Security yelled his name, but he didn't stop. In the parking garage, headlights flared. The traitor coach, suitcase in hand, stepping into a black car. Abner shouted, "You took everything from me." The man turned slowly, calm, confident. "No, Abner," he said. "I gave you something better. Rage." Abner dropped his gloves, fists clenched, bare. For a second, the two men stared. One fighter, one manipulator, both built on the same lie. Police sirens wailed in the distance. The man smirked. "You're still fighting shadows." Then a sound of tires screeched. "Not tonight," Morel said. Together, the two fighters cornered the man who had destroyed them both. Later that night, when the police took him away, Abner and Morel stood under the Vegas lights, silent. "You fought me for his lie," Abner said. "And you forgave me for his truth," Morel replied. They shook hands. Two rivals turned brothers. As the crowd's distant cheers faded, Abner looked at his gloves one last time. The word forgive was now smudged with blood, but beside it, he wrote another word with his marker, free. The camera panned upward, the lights of Las Vegas glowing like redemption itself. End message. In boxing, every fight ends with a bell. But some wars only end when the heart finds peace.